This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Commonwealth cruiserweight champion Chris Billam-Smith. We are here at the lovely University of Kent. How are you, Chris?
Yep, good, mate. You?
Not bad, thank you. Not bad. Always a pleasure to be down here and see you at work. What have you been up to today?
Pads, bit of pads and abs, and a little cycle to finish. So yeah, it's only midday-ish at the moment. Get some lunch, train again. That'll be it.
The fast life of a boxer, eh? A week and a half out of one of, your biggest fight of your career so far. You meet Tommy McCarthy for the British, Commonwealth and European cruiserweight titles. I mean, admittedly, you look pretty tired now, but are you excited on the inside?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good. Buzzing for the fight. It's getting closer. It's the last half week now, so most of the hard work's done. Final spar tomorrow, and then it's go time.
Seems to have flown by, really. It seems like only the other day we were we were at Matchroom's HQ, Eddie's back garden, for the announcement with you and him face to face. Now, we did catch up then, but we never put it out because it was boiling hot and I was talking gibberish for half the interview. There's nothing new there. Doing it now, anyway. But go back and tell me about this this kind of rift, really, that's emerged between yourself and Tommy McCarthy. I was at his last fight against Alexandre Jure. There was a lot of kind of rat talk and this, that, and the other after the fight. Where does all that stem from?
I get asked this a lot at the moment, but I think it's just from that one tweet that I sent out. Obviously he looked like he was avoiding the fight, so I told him to stop avoiding me, that I punch holes in him, and then he bit on it, and his manager bit on it, and they signed and took the fight. So that was job done from my point, and then he just hates me for it. So. That's good because he's going to be up for the fight, which is what we want.
Yeah, so I've sort of said, I think we did a podcast not long after the fight was announced, whereby you've got yourself, the gentleman himself, and Tommy McCarthy, who I always found to be a very nice guy. All of a sudden, I've got this heated, intense beef between you. It's not something that I ever really expected to see between two people such as yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much beef from my part, to be honest. He's really riled up, but it's all part of the business, and it's all fun and games. So. Yeah, it will be put to bed following Saturday.
Over the last few years, the cruiserweight division domestically has been one of the best divisions, one of the most competitive divisions domestically. Where would you place Tommy McCarthy compared to the other guys that you've boxed?
Other guys I've boxed, so probably if you rank the division as a whole. Domestically, I'd go Lawrence, myself, Richard. Then there's a few names there. Craig Glover will still be in there. He needs to get back fighting. Dion Zuma's there. Tommy McCarthy. I think Dion Zuma beats Tommy McCarthy. You've got Mikel Lawal coming through. I'd probably put him around fifth or sixth, probably around that in the British rankings. But it doesn't mean anything, styles make fights. But it's I've got to go out and do my job next Saturday.
You mentioned it there, styles make fights. You've both got a common opponent in Richard Riakporhe, Lawrence Okoli, another kind of streaky power puncher in the same sort of mould as Richard Riakporhe. But style-wise, how difficult a fight is this, and what sort of style are you expecting from Tommy McCarthy? Yeah,
he's got fast hands. He's different to a lot of people I've boxed, I guess. I think he's more of the Nathan Thorley sort of style-wise, bit more of a boxer, bit more upright. But yeah, this is sort of I've boxed so many different styles now. But yeah, he's probably short. I think Thorley was a bit taller than me. Can't remember exactly, but he's a bit shorter than me, Tommy. So, but yeah, he can box. He's got heavyish hands, I guess. Puts his shots together quite well. Likes to use his feet and feint and stuff like that, and fiddle around with his hands. So yeah, that's sort of the style I'd be expecting. Nothing new. But yeah.
Tommy's mentioned in the last interview that I did with him about his kind of tendency in the past, at least, to start slowly in fights, kind of work his way into fights. How important is it for you that you set the pace early on in your fight, that you don't allow him to find the rhythm that we will see him kind of get into when he fights?
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. I don't think I think we're quite similar in a way that we both kind of start fast, I guess, and look to establish a sort of rhythm, I guess. I wouldn't say I don't need to get into my rhythm. I'd sort of just, I'm not one who just gets into my rhythm and runs off with fights. I just gradually break people down. And I think that'll be what will happen in this fight. I think we'll start even-ish, and then I'll gradually get to him. I think my conditioning, my fitness is one of the best in the division. And my punch power is underrated, and my variety in shots is also underrated. So I think I'll just chip away and get him out there in mid to late rounds.
We've spoken for a good couple of years now about kind of what the end goal is for you, or where you'll be heading, or where you're aiming. What does it mean to you to be boxing for British, Commonwealth, European titles? I think you'd be the first to admit that at the start of your career, it would have been great to just kind of box for a British title or be in the conversation for that when you first turned over. Now, British, Commonwealth, European title, there's potential for a world title on the horizon. That must be so satisfying at this stage of your career. Yeah,
absolutely. The progression from when I came in the gym has been great. I'm working under Shane, and the way my career has been mapped out has been superb. And that comes down to the whole team working together, myself, Shane, Josh Pritchard, Barry and Jake behind the scenes, my S&C coaches, all of that. But it's been non-stop the whole time. When I'm out of camp, I'm still training and working on things and getting programs sent to me to do outside of camp. So it's been a nice steady development curve, and then the sparring that I've had obviously since Lawrence has joined the gym in particular, but also Breedis, and then before that was obviously sparring a lot with George Graves. So I've always sparred world class people as well, so I'm very fortunate to have had that sort of sparring. If I can't get to the heights of European and fight for a world title with everything like that behind me, that'd be down to me. But and putting the work in, so it's paying off, and it'd be nice to pick up those belts.
You mentioned Lawrence Okoli there, and of course you've got Daniel Dubois as well, who you sparred with in the past, and now has of course joined McGuigan's gym. You're the OG of the gym now. You're the last man standing from when you came in. It's just one of those things in boxing, isn't it? It's kind of revolving doors of training and camps and stuff like that. But been quite the journey for you at McGuigan's gym.
Yeah, I've loved every minute of it. It's we've moved gyms, we've had all sorts of people come and go, and it's amazing. It's been a great experience, for me to experience a lot of sides of the sport. But the main thing when I joined was to try and join the best coach and best gym in the world, and thankfully Shane said yes and accepted me, and then we've just keep progressing from there. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far, and long may it continue.
Big carrot to dangle at the end of this. Obviously, Tommy McCarthy's from Belfast. You're from Bournemouth. You've both spoken of your love for your respective hometowns and cities, etc. Win this fight, real prospects, real possibility of you taking that show down to Bournemouth, like you've spoken about for the last few years.
Yeah, that's a dream for me. I've boxed. Last time I boxed at home was December 2018, I think, and then I had Nottingham, London, Liverpool, fight camp, Wembley. So yeah, and then fight camp again. So it'd been nearly 3 years by the time if we have it at the end of this year. So yeah, I'd love to take a show back home, and get some local talent on the show, as well as the names with Matchroom. I'm sure Eddie would, if we were to have a show down there, he'd want to put some names on it as well as local talent and bring a show back home. But my fans have missed out. Few are coming to this fight. So yeah, I'd love to have a show back home with everyone from Bournemouth, and I get so much support from the locals, even the football club get involved, even the players. So yeah, I'd love to bring a show back home so that everyone can come and watch and enjoy the night.
You're looking forward to your return to fight camp? Obviously, you mentioned there, it's going to be slightly different this time. You're going to have fans. I don't know how rich your friends are, paying £750 for a ticket, but must really want to see you box, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call them my close group of friends. I just had a message from some lads that are local to the town, so don't know what they do for work, to be honest, but I have to find out and ask for a job when I retire. But yeah, it's nice to have some support there. Obviously, I've got my family coming as well, so my brothers, my mum and dad, and my wife, and one of my best mates, he's coming as well. So yeah, should be. I'm looking forward to it. I've got good memories of fight camp and really enjoyed it last year. And this year will be slightly different. A few fans there, which I'm sure will make it even better.
And I'll be there this year.
Yeah, and that, of course, as well.
Of course, of course. Okay, Chris, always a pleasure catching up. I won't keep you too long because, of course, as I've just mentioned, I will see you next week at Fight Camp. Leave the final word with you. What can we expect when you challenge for the British and European and defend your Commonwealth title against Tommy McCarthy next weekend?
I think you'll see the best of me. Genuinely, I've sparred really well this camp. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. It's a bit of a cliche statement, but I'm 100% in the best shape I've ever been in. And it's a really meaningful fight. I mean, they're all meaningful, but this one's really got a bit between my teeth. So I'm excited, so everyone else should be as well.
And before I let you go, Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk's just been announced. Have to remember to get your expert insight, and you've been an analyst on Sky, so yeah, your expert insight into that fight. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. Who wins and how?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I think if AJ can be relentless and be his old relentless self, I think he can get rid of him. Obviously, he's still got to box his way in and use his speed and his jab and stuff, but he's obviously got the power to hurt Usyk, anyone in the world, and take him out. So if he can do that, then great. You know, if he does hurt him, I don't think he has to be as careful as he would be with someone like Andy Ruiz, because Usyk's not that sort of puncher or that sort of speed of climbing up like he did when he got Joshua. So if he hurts him, he needs to jump on him and get rid of him. Or if it goes to points, it could be a really close fight. Usyk's got so many skills. We've seen him over the years. I saw his resume yesterday of who he's boxed and where he's boxed in, like in their hometowns or their home countries and stuff. And he's an unbelievable talent, one of the pound for pound best in the world. But obviously size does matter. So it'd be interesting to see how he does with the size of AJ in there. But it's a great fight for the fans, and I think like I said, I'm sitting on the fence a bit. Yeah, I know you hate a fence sitter. You get splinters sitting on the fence, but I think it'll be AJ. I think if AJ can hurt him, it's hard to not see AJ hurt him, to be honest, when you think about it, because it's 12 rounds. But Usyk's so slippery, and it could be a hard night. I'll probably go AJ points.
Okay, we went round the houses, but you got there in the end. Maybe you could get some work on DAZN as an analyst with such in-depth breakdowns as that. Chris Billam-Smith, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Catch up with you next week.
Nice one. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.